last 26 cents. So this is nice and different. I'm so happy to see you. How are you doing today? You enjoying this? I'm going to call it an absolutely perfect day in H-Town.
It is a perfect Houston day, and this is a great place. I'm glad to be here at the NEF Endowment Luncheon. It's wonderful.
I tell you what, isn't this guy the epitome of Houston? I mean, he's always fired up about everything. He's always giving. He's always making wild bets that keep me on the edge of my seat because I get so scared for him. And I know he's got it, but it still makes me nervous for you. But I know that a lot. How many of you feel like you already know this man? Let's see by a show of hands. You feel like you know him, right? Well, let's just find out how well you know him. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Let's just go back in time and talk about where this all began. How did you get into the furniture business to begin with?
I got in the furniture business to begin with because I was 27 years old.
A puppy.
I was dead broke and I needed a job. So I got a job at a furniture store in Dallas, and I had to ride the bus 2 hours out there every day and 2 hours back. But I found something I was good at, was selling furniture. Then in 1981, my wife and I moved to Houston to start the Gallery Furniture right there at the same location on the North Freeway. And I told that story a million times. I always told that we had $5,000 as seed money when we came down here. My wife went with me, strangely enough, a couple of months ago to one of these speeches. She corrected me. We had $3,500 and we're still at it.
I love that. You know, when I think about how successful you are, I feel like anybody who's successful ended up having a mentor, somebody in their life to help take it to the next level. Was there anybody in your life who really helped you get to where you are today?
Well, my parents were great mentors, my role models, and they still are. You know, they say that we don't live in the past, but the past lives in us. And my parents certainly live in me every day. And my father was the ultimate optimist and hard charger. My mother had a world-class work ethic, so hopefully I inherited a little bit of those traits from both of them.
Well, they must have been giving, loving people, because I feel like the apple probably didn't fall far from that tree. How did you get into philanthropy and realize that you could make such a difference in so many people's lives? I picture back, do you remember when Houston just felt like it was falling apart and people didn't have anywhere to go and their homes were flooded, and then you just opened up Gallery Furniture and said, I got some beds, you can sleep on them. I mean, I think about how giving that was, and I remember having tears in my eyes when I heard that, and I knew that you were making such a difference for so many people.
You know, I was taught when I went to school, and my parents taught me that the essence of living is giving. My father died broke, but he died happy. And everything he had, he gave away. He gave what he didn't have to give. And one of the great stories, my father founded a Catholic high school in Dallas back in 1963. And the first graduating class, my brother was a year below that, and I was a year below him, had this guy named Jim who was a star quarterback. My father loved football, so he got Jim a scholarship to Dartmouth College. And Jim went up there his freshman year, and he came back home for Christmas. And his parents didn't have any money to get him back to Dartmouth College, so he was going to lose out on this incredible Ivy League education, all those other things. My father put him in the car and drove him to Dartmouth College. And that's the type of person my father was. When we were playing Little League Baseball, one of the parents said, you only sponsor the teams because your sons are on it. He said, I sponsor the teams because I want to help all these kids. So I was very lucky to learn from two very loving parents. My parents, for instance, would not have thought of going on a vacation without us kids in 1,000 years. So their life revolved around family, community, church. That was it.
So beautiful to hear. And obviously you've had those memories very much alive, because I know that's what you do with your family as well. Let's talk about where we all are right now. I just love the north side. There's something so special about Northwest Houston. I always love driving by Gallery Furniture, the original one. When I go to work every morning, it's all lit up in all its glory, even at 4 in the morning. What do you feel like makes Northwest Houston so very special?
First of all, you go to work at 4 in the morning, you need a new mattress.
Oh, Mattress Mack. I bet he does. Well, you delivered the same day is the question.
We got to deliver early because you go to bed early. What makes the Alley Furniture special, no doubt about it, is the people. Our team members that work there are great people, and our wonderful customers who supported us over the years. And Houston, Houston is who we are. Mm-hmm. I remember a story about one of our guys who got in lots of trouble with the law, and then he got out of prison, and now he's back working for us, and he found a sense of community there and changed his life, and now 20 years later he's a model citizen. So I think that the community is the essence of what we're all about. One of the problems that we have in this country is in 1900 the average size of a U.S. household was 10.5 people. The average size of a U.S. household today is less than 2. And one's the loneliest number. People are lonely, they're scared, and I think very much, unfortunately, people don't go to church as much as they used to, which is a tremendous sense of community. And people live apart, they move all the time. So when you have a great organization like NAM that's there for those seniors with those meals, that's there for people who are down on their luck and that it looks hopeless, NAM is a shining light in all of Northwest Houston, and I am honored and pleased to come up here, and I just love what NAM stands for, but more importantly, what NAM does every day.
Oh, it is so very true. Can I get a clap for that, or 2 or 10? There we go. It is so true. You talked a little bit about your parents. Let's talk about the kiddos for a moment. So I've been in Houston so long. I got to meet his daughter Liz when she was a young girl and dealing with obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. Your family's been very open about that so that you can help others. And what's odd for me now is when I interview Elizabeth, I have to call her Dr. Mack Bell, and I'm used to her being this young girl talking to me about it, and now she's making such a difference for so many people, such an advocate. I know you've got to be so proud when you see what she's doing.
Yeah, we grew up right over here in 1960, and Liz was told by 20 doctors she'd never finish high school. And definitely the proudest moment of her mother in my life was seeing that child walk across the stage over here at Westfield High School and graduate. And then she decided to turn her illness into her passion, and she helps people with mental illness. She has a PhD from the University of Houston and one of the premier obsessive compulsive disorder practitioners in the world. She still has that disease, still fights it every day. She will till the day she dies, but she's turned her problem into her passion.
I want to talk more about something that you're doing. NAN is looking, and I'm sure many of you may have heard that they're looking into working with plumbers, and we're talking about loyalty plumbing, looking into this workforce to get this partnership going. You have done some remarkable stuff at Gallery Furniture with Work Texas, helping kids who might not have another chance, to give them and open their minds and other opportunities that are available. Can you talk about how you got that going in the first place, and then maybe how NAM could use some of those ideas as they work into this new partnership?
Well, I watched Mike Rowe one day when he was doing a lecture in a famous TV show, Dirty Jobs, and he talked about how people that work with their hands could make a great living and not have to have a 4-year college education, student debt the rest of their life. So during COVID, we decided to start a trade school. We teach plumbing, electrical, HVAC, auto mechanics, that sort of thing. I think we've graduated probably 400 to 500 people out of the school over the last 3 or 4 years. When they graduate, when they graduate, they all have a great paying job because their instructors are people that we get from companies that are looking to hire people. So they're trained to be an electrician. They're trained in how to do stuff that's going to be facing them on the job, or a plumber or whatever. I was on the way in today listening to the radio, and the DJ was talking about how in this country we have a huge void of plumbers and electricians and skilled laborers, and what are we going to do about it? And NAM stepping up and, you know, helping those people get a job. And, you know, to me, the one thing that NAM does so well, it helps people not only give them a helping hand, but help them get back on their feet. Because to me, the essence of living is giving, and purpose, work brings purpose and meaning to life. And the more people in this country that we can get back to work, the better life they're going to have, and they're going to change that cycle of poverty and break it for generations.
Oh, that's so true. I just heard recently about someone who went to NAM, and she was just became unexpectedly a single mom of 3. Her husband left her. She couldn't pay her rent. She had no food for her children. NAM was actually able to pay her rent for 3 months. They were able to help her find a job. They were able to provide meals for those children until she could get back on her feet. And you think about the power of that, of a mom who, I mean, we see homeless people every single day in Houston. That could have happened to her. She could have been in a women's shelter. But NAM said, no, we want to keep you in your home. And now she's able to pick up the slack and do that. And sometimes it just takes a while to get your feet back on the ground.
Right. So NAM not only changed her life, but changed those kids' lives. Yeah. And it's generational. So you don't know what good NAM is doing until 20, 30, 40 years down the road.
It's incredible to see. Well, has everybody noticed? I know you couldn't help but notice what we have going on over here, a little jersey going on. So I have to ask you, who's going to win the World Series?
They had me do a bit for Jim Crane, a little video for his birthday last year, which I think was like late November after the Astros got knocked out. And so my bit was, happy birthday, Jim, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't know who lost more money on the Astros losing, you or me.
So, do we have any wild bets coming up?
Now we're doing the Astros. I had a wild bet on the Cougars last week, and that made me deathly ill.
I bet.
You win some, you lose some, and sometimes you get rained out.
So, no comment? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Oh, yeah, I'm still, if the Astros win it all, you get your Tempur-Pedic mattress for free, so you ought to come buy one.
Okay, here we go. We're already hoping for that win. I love your humor and just making us all feel so lighthearted today. And that's how we want so many people in Northwest Houston to feel, is lighthearted, is to be happy, is to be fulfilled. And that's what this endowment fund, why we're here today, is to make a difference. I have a few stats I just wanted to share with you all. Did you know that 85 to 95% of the donations stay right here? Like, it all goes and stays in the community. That's huge. That is very unusual. Not many cents of a dollar do that for many organizations. Also, NAM has provided training and job placement for 5 graduating classes of apprentice electricians. Again, now expanding to plumbing trade. And you heard what it's doing, like what you're doing with your trade group. I'm sure you see lives transformed.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We had this single mom come up, and she went through our construction trade thing. She barely graduated from high school. Now she makes $150,000 a year. So,
how about that?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Okay, and also 60 to 70 families are served through the Nutrition Center every day. That's above and beyond those 755 meals a day I was telling you about from Meals on Wheels. Think about that. People are not going to be hungry because of the donations with this. It's huge. Also, only $20 a day will feed an entire family through NAM. I don't know if you've been to the grocery store, but when I have a 16-year-old, I mean, literally to cook for him, it's $100 a day. But NAM is able to stretch the dollars and feed everyone in the family the entire day for $20. So that makes you realize how they can stretch that money and truly make a difference. So that's where our big ask comes in, to be able to fund this endowment so that we can do this not only today and tomorrow, when inflation's so high, when families are hurting so badly, but truly be able to pull it off for years to come.
Exactly. And one of these days, when we go up there in front of our Creator, whoever we believe the Creator to be, the Creator will not ask us how much money did you or I make. The Creator instead will ask us, how much of a difference did you make? And I think for everybody associated with NAM here, the creator will say, well done, good and faithful servant.
Oh, that's so beautifully stated. Well, we just want to make sure you know on each and every one of your tables, there's a card and you can fill it out, and we have volunteers standing by. You can hold it high and proud, and they will come by and grab that card from you. We also have, if you want to just make sure it's taken and done today, maybe you don't want to leave your credit card number because that always just feels weird these days, right? We actually have swipers, and we can help take care of that. So make sure that you know we can do that safely. If you have a check, whatever you can do to help, we will try to make it as easy as possible for you. So again, those cards are right there on your table, hopefully a pen as well, so that you can get those filled out.
Thank you, everybody at NAM, and thanks for believing and making a huge difference in this community.
God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so very much. And again, we have our volunteers. You can hold that card up. There you go. Make sure we know where our volunteers are. Can you hold your hands really high? And I know if you haven't had your dessert, you're still dying to dig into that. Please continue to enjoy your meal. Be careful leaving here today. And know that you will be invited to all the NAM events to come. So make sure you know when those are so you can get them on your calendar nice and early and join us next time. Again, thank you so very much. We love having you here today. And let's give it up again for the one, the only Mattress Mack, who makes everything and everywhere he goes a better place. We can all learn from him. You truly are my hero. God bless you. I'm going to hug you. I want more than a handshake.
Thanks, Melissa.